Hi, I'm Darren Miles with Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida. As many of you know, I recently launched my real estate photography seminar online, Camp Miles Real Estate Photography for the Real World, now available for digital download. And in that video, I talk pretty extensively about various tools of the trade that I use in my real estate photography. And today, I'm going to talk about 3 of them. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can win one of these 3 items. So if you're curious to know what they are, and if you want to learn a little bit about them, well, stick around and find out. So today, you're going to get a Three-Fer. A Three-Fer. That means I'm going to quick take and review 3 separate items that I use. These are my tools of the trade, if you will, in my real estate photography. And as many of you know, I just launched Camp Miles Real Estate Photography for the Real World online and available for digital download. And inside of that course, I talk a lot about various tools that I use on a regular basis. And I talk about getting a nice, stable, and lightweight tripod. And you should spend anywhere from $100 all the way up to $300. And this right here is the Oben CC2461. This is a really neat, extraordinarily lightweight tripod that allows you to actually put 17.5 pounds on this thing, which is quite a bit of weight. It's also incredibly easy to use because unlike previous Oben tripods where you used to have to unscrew each one of the leg segments and pull it down, then tighten it up, it was a productivity killer. What's so great about this one is it has these flip-out locks. So you pop one of these out, scroll it down, lock it into place, and off you go. And the kind of real estate photography that I do and the kind that I teach, it's a very high volume type real estate photography, and you want to be as productive and as fast as possible. And the Oben CC2461 does a really good job of being a fast, flexible, and stable tripod that allows you to be very productive. And right now, this is only available as part of a bundle today. Oben no longer sells this thing individually, but you can go to B&H Photo, for example, and they'll bundle it for the same price with a ball head, like tripod head, which frankly I'm not a big fan of. In real estate photography, I prefer a 3-axis head where you move each axis independently. I find productivity-wise that I'm able to balance and level that thing, not balance, but level it much more quickly than I can with a ball head, especially in real estate photography. So if you're more comfortable with the ball head, great. I'm personally not. I prefer the X Pro 3 from Manfrotto. That's just me. But anyway, the Oben CC2461 gets our highly recommended rating, especially for the price point. It's under $300 with a head. Again, not the kind of head that I prefer, but still it's included and it's a good place to start. The next item on the list is the serious, like, total piece of awesome. This is the Cheetah Stand V860X Flash. This thing's amazing. I have about 4 of these. In fact, I've got 4 of them for my Nikon and I've got 1 for my Sony. And what's so great about these is that they kind of do a lot of the similar things that most other flash systems do, but now this has a lithium battery. And what's so great about the lithium battery is that recycle times are very, very quick. What's also cool about the V860 is that it has a radio control built in. So if you do more than just real estate photography, let's say, for example, you like to do a lot of portrait photography and you like to utilize off-camera flash, if you get a couple of these, you can activate one as the trigger, the other one as the slave, and you can radio signal them and control them from just about anywhere, up to like 100 meters away. They're pretty impressive. And they're also really inexpensive for what you get. They're around $200. You compare something like this to, say, the Canon 600EX Mark II, whatever that new one is from Canon. That's like a $500 flash. This is only $200. You could buy like 2 or 3 of these, or 2.5 of these for the price of 1 Canon and get just as much, if not more, capability. I can't recommend the V860 enough. Now, one of the negatives to this is, unfortunately, Cheetah only sells them directly, so you have to go to the Cheetah Stand website to get one. I've linked to it below, but it's a really great deal, and this gets our Editor's Choice Award. This is an absolutely amazing flash. I love this thing. And lastly, if your real estate photography business is anything like mine, more and more of your clients are going to start pushing you into video. Whether you want to go there or not, they're going to pretty much expect that you're going to be able to do some kind of video because they know these cameras have video capabilities. So one of the things that I like to do is, or one of the things that I found very challenging when I first get into movie making or into video making, is steady camera movement. Because if you know, as you know, if you try to hand-hold things, even with the best 3-axis or 5-axis image stabilization systems, you still have some shakiness to your movement. Well, this thing is a camera slider that is very compact. This is the Axler Crane Compact Camera Slider. I love this thing. Now, it's kind of a ripoff of the Edelkrone Wing. I don't know if you've actually ever seen the Edelkrone Wing. Edelkrone is actually a really cool and very innovative company. I really like their stuff a lot, but they're very expensive. They're kind of like the Apple of camera sliders and camera movement equipment. They make great stuff. They package it beautifully. It looks great, but it's very expensive. The Axler Crane, this thing is about $299 today, which is pretty cheap relative to, say, the Edelkrone Wing. And results-wise, I found the results of this thing are actually very similar. And one of the distinct advantages of the Axler is that it has two modes. Like right now, it's set up on the parabolic mode. And if you look, you can see that the camera is kind of fixed on a point out here in space. So the background's kind of moving around. This is really good for product photography, product videography, or if you want to do something up close. Like maybe you want to like pan on a person, or maybe you want to pan on this flash, for example. I can angle the camera down and kind of move the camera around, but have it stay focused on the subject, or in this case, the flash in the middle. It's a really neat effect, and it's built into the slider. I don't need an extra component to do it. All I have to do is switch the camera from this back screw point, I guess you want to call it a screw point, to this front one. Let me show you how that's done. And just like that, you went from a parabolic move to a very straight and linear move using the same slider. Now, one of the really big negatives to the Axler is this little piece right here. This is the piece that actually connects from the device, from the slider to the camera. It's actually a very cheap, plasticky, ball-headed tripod thing, which I'm really not a big fan of. But once you level it or get it to the angle that you want to get it at, the results are every bit as good as, say, for example, again, the Edelkrone Wing for 2.5 times less money. So the Axler Crane is a great deal, and it gets our highly recommended rating as well. Now, how could you win one of these 3 items? Well, actually, it's very simple. If you go online right now to darrenmiles.com and click on Education, or click on the link below and purchase Camp Miles Real Estate Photography for the Real World, you will be automatically entered to win one of these 3 items. And you have to buy the course by August 31st, 2017. So if you do that, you'll automatically be entered and you'll have a chance to win. In fact, every one of these items is actually much more expensive than buying the course. So if you look at it that way, you may actually end up making money if you buy the course. The other thing I want to keep in mind too, the course is actually relatively inexpensive, especially when you compare the sheer number or sheer amount of volume that you could potentially do in real estate photography once you have that knowledge. So check it out. And again, my name's Darren Miles with Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida. If you like this review, or if you like this quick take, go ahead and click subscribe or give me a like. And until the next time, happy shooting.